Right friends, welcome back to Capsule-6. This is Read Between the Lines. This is basically to explain the inner meaning and concepts of various news items, and this will be there every week one capsule. So every week one capsule of Read Between the Lines and one capsule of News in Focus will be there from now onwards. So let us look at the first issue. Center plans to collect rupees 400 to rupees 500 crore annually for contribution to NMET. And you may ask, what is meant by NMET? National Mineral Exploration Trust. All of you are familiar with the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act of 2015, popularly known as MMDR Act of 2015. As per that act, this NMET is to be established, and last year we learnt about district mineral foundations. District mineral foundations are to be established to look at the welfare of the displaced people, and similarly this is a second one, that is National Mineral Exploration Trust. The main purpose is to promote exploration in the country. And you may ask, what are various minerals? Please look into this slide. These are examples of various minerals: manganese ore, copper ore, gold, then diamond ore. These are all examples of minerals, and National Mineral Exploration Trust is to be established based on Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act of 2015. And here, most important, leaseholders, whoever take the lease of mines, will contribute 2% of royalty to NMET. 2% they have to pay to NMET. And when we discussed about district mineral foundations, we deliberated that for the leases awarded after January 2015, 10% of royalty will go to district mineral foundations. Similarly, 2% will go to National Mineral Exploration Trust, and here governing body will be headed by the Mines Minister, and executive committee will be headed by the Secretary, Ministry of Mines. And what is the main purpose of this National Mineral Exploration Trust? The purpose is to intensify mineral exploration activities to bring up the mineral deposits to the mineable stage. And no one knows where the minerals are. Unless exploration is done, it is not possible to identify the valuable minerals inside the ground. So as to undertake exploration activities, this 2% of royalty is intended. So 2% royalty on mine leases will go to NMET, and at the same time, other important aspect is government also permitted 5 central public sector undertakings to carry out prospecting operations without obtaining prospecting license. That means to undertake exploration activities without obtaining prior permission from the center, the 5 public sector undertakings are allowed to undertake exploration operations. The 5 public sector undertakings are NMDC, this is Hyderabad headquartered National Mineral Development Corporation, then MOIL. The next one is SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited, then RINL, Rashtriya Ispat Nigam Limited, then Kuthremukh Iron Ore Company Limited. These were allowed to carry out prospecting operations without obtaining a license. Right, this is all about National Mineral Exploration Trust. This is also very important, just like district mineral foundations. Look into the second news item for Read Between the Lines. Nuclear suppliers insurance policy is unveiled. As per Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act of 2010, it will take care of third-party nuclear liability insurance. Last year, India established India Nuclear Insurance Pool, or popularly known as INIP, and this is established with rupees 1500 crore, and this is the 27th Global Nuclear Insurance Pool. And you may ask, what is the need for nuclear insurance? Because of the accident in nuclear power plant, if something happens to the people in the adjacent areas, the liabilities will be met from this nuclear pool. Let me tell you once again, because of some nuclear accident, all of you are familiar with Fukushima nuclear accident in Japan. Because of nuclear accident, if some damage takes place to the human beings in the adjacent areas, then this will take care of the liability, right? And with that in mind, this India Nuclear Insurance Pool was created, and here this was created by GICRE. Then other non-life insurers, you may ask what are the examples of other non-life insurers. Please look into this slide. These are examples of other non-life insurers. Broadly, insurance companies are categorized as life insurers and non-life insurers. Examples of non-life insurers, please look into this slide. And at the same time, along with the nuclear risk insurers of United Kingdom, that means these three came together to establish India Nuclear Insurance Pool. This is the 27th Global Nuclear Insurance Pool. And now New India Assurance Company Limited, which is Mumbai based non-life insurer, along with India Nuclear Insurance Pool, issued the country's first nuclear suppliers insurance policy. So, the country's first nuclear suppliers insurance policy was issued by New India Assurance Company Limited, the Bombay-based government non-life insurer, along with India Nuclear Insurance Pool. And it provides insurance coverage to operators and suppliers for any nuclear liability towards the third party. You may ask what is meant by operator. In India, please look into this slide. NPCIL is the operator in our country. It operates all the nuclear power plants. And supplier, one example is Westinghouse, which supplies nuclear reactors. So, if some accident takes place, then the liability or the damages will be met from the insurance pool. So, for that purpose, New India Assurance issued the country's first nuclear suppliers insurance policy. This is very important. Please don't forget, this issue is very important. Look into the next one, frustration in higher judiciary. Recently, the Chief Justice of the country, T.S. Thakur, expressed his dissatisfaction over the functioning of executive. And please don't forget, government can be divided into three organs. One is a legislative organ. Legislative organ basically makes laws. Then executive. Executive is basically for its implementation, for day-to-day affairs of the country. Third one is the judiciary. Judiciary primarily looks at whether the country is running as per the provisions of the constitution or not. So, legislative, executive and judiciary. Recently, Chief Justice of the country criticized the executive for not taking prompt action, and the details are not that much available, but all of you are familiar with the National Judicial Appointments Commission. NJAC was passed by the Parliament, but subsequently Supreme Court said that it is against the basic structure of the Constitution, and the age-old collegium system will prevail over NJAC. So, NJAC was struck down and collegium system will be in operation just like it is in operation since 1990s. And memorandum of procedure is to be devised between the central government and the judiciary, that means between executive and judiciary. This memorandum of procedure is to be devised so as to make collegium system more accountable and transparent. What I mean to say is, National Judicial Appointments Commission was struck down by Supreme Court, and subsequently Supreme Court stated that memorandum of procedure will be devised so as to make a collegium system more accountable and transparent, and the memorandum of procedure is to be devised between executive and the judiciary. And I have listed some points. please go through these points. There are 24 high courts in the country. Out of a sanctioned cadre of 1079 judges, 478 posts are lying vacant. They constitute around 44%. And as I have already told you, NJSC for appointment and transfer of judges was struck down by Supreme Court, and government and Supreme Court have yet to formulate memorandum of procedure. And two important points, they are probably the bone of contention between executive and judiciary. First thing is, in the memorandum of procedure, government wants a clause of rejection in the name of national interest, and Supreme Court is not agreeing to it. In the memorandum of procedure, central government wants clause of rejection in the name of national interest, but Supreme Court is not agreeing to this clause. Then recently, list of 74 names sent by the collegium to the government is reportedly struck up since January 2016. Whatever the truth, but the relations between executive and judiciary strained after the Supreme Court struck down NJSC and voted for the continuation of collegium system. Let us hope some good sense to prevail in future. Look at the last one. WPI based inflation reached 23-month high of 3.55% in July, and I would like to tell you few points here. One is this wholesale price index based inflation is released every month by the Office of the Economic Advisor. This is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. It also releases the growth of core industries, and here the base year is taken as 2004-05 with the base index as 100, and now the wholesale price index based inflation reached a 23-month high of 3.55%. and the previous highest was 3.74% in August 2014. And alarming thing is, overall food inflation is 11.82%. And if you look at the inflation, that is vegetables, inflation is 28%, pulses 36%, potatoes 59%, then sugar 32%. Then fruits 17%. So these are the alarming signals if you look at the inflation. And you may ask the weightages in the wholesale price index. Weightages, manufactured products constitute 65% weightage. And please look into this slide. These are examples of manufactured products like machinery, rubber, leather, paper, textile. These are all examples of manufactured products, and manufactured products constitute 65%. Then primary articles constitute 20%. Out of primary articles, that means the natural products. What is meant by primary articles is they are available in nature. They are natural products. Primary articles constitute 20%, out of which food articles constitute 14%. Please look into this slide. These are examples of food articles like naturally available vegetables, fruits, milk, eggs. Then non-food articles out of primary articles constitute 4%. These are fibers, oil seeds, these are examples of non-food articles. Then if you look at the minerals, these are examples of minerals. Minerals constitute 1.52%. So these are all put together are primary articles which constitute 20.12%. The third one is fuel and power. This constitute 14.91%. So if someone talks about the wholesale price index, these things please don't forget. The manufactured products 64.97%, primary articles 20.12%, fuel and power 14.91%. Right friends, with this let us conclude. Read between the lines. Every week you will have similar modules. Right friends, have a nice day. Thank you.